She told me yesterday I did a show down in Columbia, Tennessee. And she said yesterday, said the guitar sounded real good. So, she said, I couldn't hear you though. Well, we were blessed, wasn't we? Anyway, it is good to be back with you. I was here, I don't know, a few weeks back, and everybody said, well, we thought it was a comedy act, so we want him to come back. So we're going to have fun again today, something to think about anyway. Yesterday I didn't have my microphone set up right, so we'll try to do that one today too, hon. I tell you, that little woman, yesterday though, I don't know, you know, we have our problems now and then, and I was heading down the interstate and state police got behind me, and we got a little Suzuki, and I hit that thing, you know, and took off, and I run off and left that state policeman. Got down the road about 5 miles, he called up to me again, went around me, got in front of him, got me off the side of the road. He said, Mr. Rainey, they're always so polite, you know. Mr. Rainey, didn't you see my red lights on you back there and the blue lights and siren? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why did you not stop? And I said, because my wife run off and left me yesterday, and I was afraid you was trying to bring her back. That's the reason I'm being filed on for a divorce. Now I better shut up. I'm being filmed, I'm afraid.
Yes, you are.
Anyway, once again, it is good to be back with you. We're going to do some country stuff, and most of the stuff that I do is the old country stuff, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll try some of it anyway. And this one here will get us going anyway. I love it when you're with me, won't you with me all of the time. That's what I've been searching for, to satisfy this burning need of mine. I don't want to share you now with someone who thinks you still care. I can't hold you, just get me what you think is fair. I'll be standing in the shade, holding back the love I have for you. But it's hard not to let it show every time I see him for you. When I see the two of you, part of you pretend I'm not there. I can't hold you, just get me what you think is fair. Just a little part of you, that's all that I'm asking. I know that having all of you just may not ever be, but I love it when you're with me. Won't you with me all of the time? Just what I've been searching for, to satisfy the burning need of mine. I don't want to share you now with someone who thinks you still care. I think I'll love you, just give me what you think is fair. I can't hold you, just give me what you think is fair. Everybody's going to be on everything. It's in June. I'm getting good on this. Can you hear me today, hon? I better turn down then. I talk to weeping willows, I cry, cry, cry. tears like a little woman, don't love you be ready. I'm gonna get ready until I die. I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. Tore me up every time I heard that draw, southern draw. There my dream went downstream back to Davenport. I'm gonna call you Big River when you call. I caught a weeping widow, I cried, cried, cried. I showed you blood how to cover up a clear blue sky. The tears I cried with a woman, no blood you've been living. I'm gonna lay right here until I die. Yeah, lay right here until I die. E string don't sound right, but I guess it says it's in tune, so we'll stay with that tune, I guess. Oh, we'll try a little bluegrass. Let me be a sorry daughter, I won't be a dog at all. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Standing on the low down blues, let you hold the bottom of my shoes. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Let me be a sorry daughter, I won't be a dog at all. I'm let me be a sorry dog. If you saddle I know you run that fast and I won't have to. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Let me be a sorry daughter, I won't be a dog at all. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Down in the water sitting on a log, and running sitting out on the hog. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Pull the trigger, let the throw shots all over Mexico. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Let me be a sorry daughter, I won't be a dog at all. I'm let me be a sorry dog. I'm let me be a sorry dog. Woo, that gets rough. That's tough stuff. I caught her sitting on the sun deck yesterday, nipping a little bit. And I went out there and I said, Barb, I don't know, honey. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, though. I said, you doing it? I'll just join you. So I took the glass away from her and I took a big swallow. I like to have choked to death. I said, Barb, how in the world can you drink that stuff? She said, see, and you thought I was out here having fun, didn't you? Merle Haggers. Well, it's a big job, it's getting by with 9 kids and a wife. I've been a working man, dang, you're all my life, and keep on working. All the day to land to 15 years. I drink a little tavern, a little bit of working and done. If keep my nose to grindstone, work on every day. I should inside on a weekend, I got strong pay. I go back working. Come Monday morning, I'm right back to the creek. I drink a little evening, a little bit of working and done. Hey, working man like me. Ain't never gonna well tonight, someplace I won't be. I'll be working. All I need to measure 15 years. I ain't putting the driving, to living, working and done. Sometimes think about leaving, living roaming around. my little rock window, can't bring another down. I keep her working. Gotta buy the kids some Rainey chips. Yeah, drink a little traveling, drink a little working and drink a little traveling, drink a little working and my favorite, I guess, of all, in all the years that I was a disc jockey, I think altogether 15 years of disc jockey work, St. Louis and Nashville. And Jim Reeves is my hero. I got to do a Jim Reeves. Am I diseased? Are my fears coming true? How I wish I knew. Am I losing you? Are my fears really true? Is there somebody new? How I wish I knew. Am I losing you? Am I too blind to see what's been happening to me? Every road has a bend. Will I be sweetheart or friend? Will the sweet things you do be for somebody new? How I wish I knew. Am I losing you? Yes, I'm telling you, that string sounds like it's out. It's there. Anyway. Bobby G. Rice, talk back to your lips, shaky legs, don't get a thing there. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into tears. Talk back to your lips, burning eyes, don't start crying. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into. Every day our love is battle royal. Dear, it seems that fighting's all we ever do. If I let you know how much I love you, you can think to me you shouldn't do. All my children, shaky legs, don't just stand there. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into. All my crimson lips, burning eyes, don't start crying. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into. Every time you up the earth, my feelings, I pretend it doesn't matter less. I'm hiding all my emotions behind a broken heart, I guess. All my children, shaky legs, don't just stand there. Heart don't let her know that she's getting true to you. All my children, burning eyes, don't start crying. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into. Heart don't let her know that you're breaking into. Oh, I tell you, us entertainers, as most people know, they get out nipping a little bit sometimes when they're out working. Not me. I never drank nothing stronger than pop. And he'd drink anything. But I come in the other morning about 4 o'clock and Bart said, "What are you doing coming home half drunk?" And I said, "I run out of money." Try this one, it's one I've been working on. Well, people say I'm no good, crazy as a loon. Get stoned in the morning, get drunk in the afternoon. Down like my over dead homes, like living in the shade. Ain't got no money, we're down to God is made, not ain't after nobody. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, let me live long as that boy alone. Well, people out and walking on the radio, putting down rock and roll. Won't be the same on the donations, always worried about my soul. Jesus walks on the water, I know that's true. Sometimes I think that preacher man, I'm always walking too, and I ain't after my love. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, but live long as good for alone. Well, the poor girl wants to marry, rich man wants to work. Rich man goes to college, poor man goes to work. The drummer wants to know the drink of wine, and the politician wants to vote. I don't want much of that at all, but we'll take a look and go, you know, ain't nothing nobody does. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, just live long as that's for alone. You don't like the way I'm living, just live long as that's for alone. New one I've been working on. Can't do no more than mess it up. Well, won't eat more about seconds, that's right. Well, I pulled out a pistol, rolling out his before. I need one up and see the run like I never before. That kid's gonna hit alright. I don't see a cop inside. This day's on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, I got 10 more years to the Georgia Overdrive. I'm gonna take a little while and my eyes are open wide. Just like a Jimmy and a white, been a pack of everything inside. This day's on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, it seems like a month to kiss my baby goodbye. I can have a lot of other women, but I'm not like some other guys. I can live whole one time, then maybe it's alright. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, the ICC is taking on down the line. I'm a little overweight and the logbook way behind. Nothing on the bottom of me keep wanting to hit something, but I got to shut up. Let's see what we got here. We're going to do it. Well, I tell you, I raised, most of you probably know where Huntington, Tennessee's at. I was raised out in Buena Vista, Tennessee. And this is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we was like 7 miles from Buena Vista out in the woods. And we was on the dirt road. It's 3 miles out, and it dead end in our front yard. And from there, it was just wild country. And anyway, one of our neighbors, this back when I was a kid, he went coon hunting. About this time of the year, got caught in a snowstorm out there, lost. And he finally gave up and backed up against a tree and sat down and froze to death. And it stayed below freezing for days on me. And finally, about 3 days later, they found him back there covered with snow sitting up against a tree. And so they brought him into Pleasant Hill Church where we went and going to bury him. And of course, like I said, he was froze sitting up, so they had him tied down into his coffin. And right in the middle of his sermon, and he hit the desk real hard, and he said, "One of these days, we're all going to die." And when he hit that thing, that boy's rope broke, and he sat straight up in his coffin, everybody trying to get out that one door in the back. These two big ladies had the aisle up blocked. One looked over and said, "Where'd the brother go to?" He said, "I don't know." When he stepped on my shoulder, he said, "Damn the church and no back door." Shouldn't tell jokes on the preacher. Anyway, this is a song that I wrote, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm manager of Burns Station Recording Studio over in Burns. And I was doing the song for another person, and this duet that I was booking on my radio show, playing, came in and heard it, and they said, "We want to record that song as a duet. Can we break it down?" I said, "Well, yeah, we can break the song down." Anyway, they recorded the song, and I think, if I'm right, it's number 5 in the charts worldwide this week. This song I wrote and recorded, and they made a hit with it, and I did get it. Anyway, the title of the song is "I Almost Said I Love You." The telephone is ringing, I've never guessed it was you. It's the first time you called me, now in a year or 2. You say you still love me, and I guess I still need you. 'Cause I almost said I love you, just like I used to do. You say you still love me, and I guess I still need you. But I know I'll have to hold you when you start to cry. You say you still love me, but I'm almost over you. And I almost said I love you, just like I used to do. I'll never forget you, and you know that's true. But you howled when you loved, and now I do too. You say you want to see me, and just talk our days gone by. But I know I'll have to hold you when you start to cry. You say you still love me, but I'm almost over you. And I almost said I love you, just like I used to do. And I almost said I love you, just like I used to do. Anyway, they did a fine job on that. I've been talking about, I shouldn't tell this story on my wife's part, but she is absolutely a lousy cook. I mean, you can look at me and tell that. She is such a lousy cook. When she throws her food out to the dogs, they sit up and beg for Tums. Anyway, I talk about my dad all the time. He'd go squirrel hunting, come in so drunk he couldn't find the front yard, so I'm going to do his theme song. Down there you come in of the pollard tree where you lay down $1 or $2. You try round the bend when you come back again. There's a jug full of that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and in that refrigerator. Oh, but look, my mug, get the fill of my cup with that good old Mountain Dew. He is sawed off his short and he measures the 542. He thinks he's a giant when you get him to find a good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and with that refrigerator. I'll fill up my mug, get the fill of my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Come by with his hell for 5 days, lock him down with the flu. And he thought he ought to give him a quart of that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and that refrigerator. I'll fill up my mug, get the fill of my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Went by with his little 5 days and down with the flu. And he thought he ought to give him a quart of that good old Mountain Dew. So they call it that old Mountain Dew, and that refrigerator. I'll shut up my mug, get the fill of my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. My brother Billy, he participated. I couldn't talk about him, but he couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. I know I had to whip him about twice a week just to keep him in line. Look at this here song that Jack Green did. And Jack and I toured together, one of the best friends that I had. We hung out at the Grand Ole Opry lot. This is one that he did, and I love doing it in his memory. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. I hear footsteps slowly walking as they gently walk across the lonely floor, and the voice is softly saying, darling, this will be goodbye forevermore. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. As my memory turns back the pages, I can see the happy years we had before. kept his heart beating has been shattered by the closing of the door. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. Okay. I hear the train of food, it's rolling around the field. Ain't seen the sunshine since the dawn, no wind, I just been broken free. That time keeps dragging by. Now I hear that whistle, I hang my head and cry. I bet the rich folk down in a fancy dining car. They probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars, but I know I had it too. I know I can't be free. That train keeps rolling, that's what tortures me. The day creeping from this prison is for your power mine. I bet I look it on, going down the line, going to see. That's where I want to be. But that train keeps rolling, that's what tortures me. I did turn my guitar at home, didn't I? Okay. I wasn't sure. I can't hear it sitting over here. I just hear me, and that's probably what the problem is. I come in the other night, we've been out playing music, and we nipped a few. And Barb said, "Why do you done coming home half drunk?" And I know it. And I said, "I run out of money." And she said, "Well, if you do that, I'm just going to join you." And she grabbed my bottle, turned it up, took a big drink. Said, "How can you drink that horrible stuff?" I said, "See, you thought I'd have fun all the time, didn't you?" Oh, my word. In all the shows that I ever do, my radio shows and everything, I always did a spiritual, and I usually try to do a couple of spiritual songs as we go along. This is one I usually do as part of the show before I end. If you remember it, just come join in with me. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the symbol of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of false sinner was slain. So I cherish the old rugged cross, till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for food. Oh, that old rugged cross, so despised by the world, has a wonderful attraction for me. For the dear Lamb of God left his glory above to bear it on dark Calvary. So I cherish the old rugged cross, till my trophies at last this morning in the middle of an argument we was having about coming over here. Right in the middle of the argument, she said, "You are the food of my life." Actually, what she said she'd had a belly full of me. Oh, we're going to try one here. Way down there one. I bet that works. Wish that I was on the Rocky Mountain in Tennessee. Ain't no small folk on Rocky Mountain, ain't no telephone bill. Once I had a girl on Rocky Mountain, I had a cat. Wow, it's a name, the sweetest sort of fun I could dream about her. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Once two strangers climbed the Rocky Top, looking for moonshine still. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, reckon they never will. Going on slow and all on Rocky Top, down to Rocky by four. That's when all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn songs done. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. I've had years of strength up in life, like a duck in a field. All I know is this little city life is the simple again. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Bluegrass. I don't know how in the world them people don't know this song. Really don't. Now get down to something that's more bass. Sounds like something me and Wing Wing back there can do together. Film it while we were singing it, okay? Tennessee, Ernie. Well, I phoned one and the sun didn't shine. Picked up the shovel that I walked the line. Those 16 ton, or 9 pole and a straw ball sled. Little left time for those 16 ton. What do you do? Another day over and deeper in bed. St. Peter does it on me, 'cause I can't go on my soul to the company's store. Well, some people say I'm made out of mud. Poor man made of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, skin and bone, mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You know, 16 tons. What do you think? Another day older and deeper in bed. St. Peter does it on me, 'cause I can't go on my soul to the company's store. Well, I phoned one morning till it says to rain. Fighting that girl on my little man. Raised in the king, they cry. No mama, I ain't a high, don't wanna make her walk the line. You know, 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in bed. St. Peter does it on me, 'cause I can't go on my soul to the company's store. A lot of men didn't and a lot of men died. One you ever ever known if you ever left one little 16? What do you get? Know the day older than paper and death. Peter doesn't call me home. I can't go on my clothes. Nothing's cold. I owe my soul. Somebody's gold. Never seen him before. Won't use it. Willie Nelson wrote this song, and my good friend Billy Walker recorded it and made a super hit, and I had the honor before he passed away of playing it so many times on the radio shows. Billy Walker. Funny how time slips away. Well, hello there. It's been a long, long time. How am I doing? Oh, I guess that I'm doing fine. Been so long now, but it seems now it was only yesterday. Gee, ain't it funny how time slips away? How's your new love? I hope that he's good time. Heard you told him that you loved him until the end of time. Now that's the same thing that you told me. It seems like just the other day. Gee, ain't it funny how time slips away? Gotta go now. I guess I'll see you around. Don't know when though. Never know when I'll be back in town. But remember what I tell you, in time you're gonna pay. And it's surprising how time slips away. Gee, ain't it funny how time slips away? Mr. Billy Walker. Oh, I didn't know it was getting up. Huh. Okay. Wait, what is it do? Well, we got to keep moving here. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to do this one. It's another gospel. I hope you enjoy it. If you know it, help me out with it, okay? This one here, Ferlin Husky made a monster hit out of the song. On the wing of a snow white dove, he sends this sweet love, a sign from above. On the wing of a dove, when trouble surrounds us and evil comes, the body will weak, the spirit will numb. When this thing is dead, he doesn't forget us. He sent down his love on the wing of a dove, on the wing of a snow white dove. He sends his sweet love, a sign from above, on the wing of a dove. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had alone on the wing of a dove. Oh, okay, yeah. Isn't that cute? Put something. Water off here. Gene Watson of down Houston, Texas. How about that? This was a big hit for him. Gene used to come to my office when I had that double suite down on 17th Avenue. Back then, him and I both were, believe it or not, Mike, we was both good-looking Peckerwoods. I'm not telling you. Yeah, man. And he'd say, this song I just wrote, it's a hit song, and, you know, I'd say, no, Gene, I don't know. I'm not sure of that, you know. I think I'd put this or that in it, and he went back and done it his way, and it became a hit anyway. So, without my advice. But anyway, Gene Watson. In fact, I built a golf course. Her and I built, what was it, 24 golf courses altogether. She was my finance lady. She would go out and get the money out of Arkansas down there. Anyway, Gene Watson. You found your greener pasture and a mansion on the hill. Flashy car to drive and lots of time to kill. You were always one for dreaming. I dream can all come true. But when we were down to nothing sure looked good on you. That I had plenty of. And through the days of dark and cold, we always will on love. With the stars of light we lure you, and you could not refuse. But when we were down to nothing sure was good for you. When you honeymooned in Paris, it carried on and you. I heard you like your cares away on a Caribbean cruise. You were always one for dreaming. I dream can all come true. But when we were down to nothing sure looked good on you. You said you needed simple things that I had plenty of. And through the days of dark and cold, they could always live on love. With the power of light he lured you, and you could not refuse. But when we were down to nothing sure looked good on you. Yes, when we were down to nothing sure looked good on you. Well, I'm gonna do a couple of songs here that, yeah, I'm about to run out of time. Everybody's so happy now. Anyway, I talked about the late Jim Reeves, and I do a lot of his songs. This one here, I guess was one of the monster hits that he had. And I'm gonna give it a try. Called The Blizzard. Well, the blizzard's coming on. I'm wishing I was home. he's lame and he can hardly stand. Listen to that northern sigh. If we don't get home, we'll die. But it's only 7 miles to Marianne. It's only 7 miles to Marianne. You can bet we're on our mind, oh, at the early supper time. And I'll bet there's hot biscuits in the pan. Lord, my hands feel like they're froze. There's a numbness in my toes. But it's only 5 more miles to Marianne. It's only 5 more miles to Marianne. That wind's howling and it seems mighty like a woman screams. And with that speed moving faster if we can. And just think about that barn with that hay so soft and warm. For it's only 3 more miles to Marianne. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. And get up, you hungry cuss, or you'll be the death of us. I'm so weary, but I'll help you if I can. All right, Dan, perhaps it's best that we stop a while and rest. It's still 100 yards, Marianne. It's still 100 yards to Marianne. Late that night, the storm was gone. They found him there at dawn. He'd have made it, but he just couldn't leave old Dan. Yes, they found him there on the plains. His hands froze to the reins. He was just 100 yards to Marianne. He was just 100 yards to Marianne. The late Jim Reeves. Oh, look, I spilled my coffee. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a couple of Jim Reeves songs for you here again. I did Am I Losing You, didn't I, a while ago, at the front of the show. Do you remember? Well, we'll do it again, Dan. You don't remember? I don't remember. Am I losing you? All of my fears coming true. How I wish I had you. Am I losing you? Is there somebody new? Tell me what to do. All my fears coming true. Am I losing you? Am I too blind to see what's been happening to me? Every road has a bend. Will I be a sweetheart of friends? Will the sweet things be for somebody new? Tell me what to do. Am I losing you? Steamboat railroad, river and canal. Under such a 80 got my gal, and she's gone. little band. I thought that wedding bell would ring. She was as sweet as it could be, till I found out that it didn't mean. Steamboat will roll around the town. Thunder, 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 and he got my gal. It's gone, 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 gone. I bid her my last farewell. I asked her mother to let her go. She whispered, mother, you really know. So he may think that I ain't true. There's any more to make her through. Steamboat, railroad, river and canal. Thunder, 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 and he got my gal. It's gone, 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 gone. And I bid her my last farewell. Now I won't cry my life away. Some little sugar will have to pay. And when he finds that she is gone, I guess I'll hear and sing the song. Steamboat, railroad, river and canal. Thunder, 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 and he got my gal. Gone, 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 gone. And I bid her my last farewell. And I bid her my last farewell. Anyway, we got time for another one or two here anyhow. She don't care. Bobby Bear. Last night I went to sleep in Detroit City. I dreamed about those cotton fields and home. I dreamed about my mother, dear old papa, sister and brother. I dreamed about the girl that's been waiting for so long. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Oh Lord, I wanna go home. Home folks think I'm big in Detroit City. From the letter that I write, they think I'm fine. But the day I make the part, find out I make the bar. If only they could read between the lines. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Oh Lord, I wanna go home. You know, I rode a freight train north to Detroit City. After all these years, wasting my time. So I'll take my foolish pride and on the freight train I'll ride. Go back to the ones left behind. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Hey, I think we've already done another George Jones. Just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I ring her number by mistake today, thinks I'm still okay. Just because I haunt the same old places where the memories of her linger everywhere. Just because I'm not the happy guy I used to be, she thinks I'm still okay. if she's happy thinking I still miss her, then let that silly notion bring her cheer. Oh, how could she ever be so foolish? Oh, where would she get such an idea? Just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I saw her in with all the pieces, she thinks I still care. But if she's happy thinking I still miss her, then let that silly notion bring her cheer. Oh, how could she ever be so foolish? Oh, where would she get such an idea? Just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I saw her then with all the pieces, she thinks I still care. Oh, she thinks I still care. I better do one more and quit before I get in trouble up here. I gotta do this. Ray Price. How blue ain't the world for the way that I feel? As a thorn brewing in this heart of mine. This ain't no crazy dream, I know that it's real. Here's someone else's love and you're not mine. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody near, but my burning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. Please take these precious dreams that I had for you and me, and take all the love I thought was mine. Someday my crazy arms will hold somebody new, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody new, but my burning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. And that's why I'm lonely all the time. Mr. Ray Price. I'm going to do one more, and it's going to be a gospel. And in fact, let's see if I can find it here. This is a gospel that I wrote, and I was doing a tour with Tommy Cash. And when I come off stage, Tommy said, "Bill, I love that song you did. Who did that?" I said, "I did." He said, "I know that. Who wrote it?" And I said, "I did." And Tommy Cash said, "Well, then I'm going to record that song." And I said, "Tommy, if you knew how many times I'd heard that in Nashville, Tennessee, you wouldn't even say it." He said, "Well, I will." He did. He recorded it. And it is going so good for him as a spiritual. He called me, 2 weeks ago, and he said, "I'm moving it from a single to an album that I'm cutting. And so he said, your song is going on the album now also. And so anyway, this is, like I said, this is a song that I wrote called I Got a Friend That Walks on Water. I got a friend who walks on water. I got a friend who forgave my sins. I got a friend who walks on water. He saved my life and he took my hand. I got a friend who walks on water. I got a friend who understands. I got a friend who walks on water. The seas are calm when he speaks to them. I got a friend who walks on water. I got a friend who heals the sick. I got a friend who walks on water. If you want healed, just follow him. I got a friend who walks on water. I got a friend who rocks in stone. I got a friend who walks on water. Mountain smoke when he walks right in. I got a friend who walks on water. Mountain move when he sleeps again. I got a friend who walks on water. If you won't heal, just follow him. Just follow him. Just follow him. Thank you so much. God bless you. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you.
All we're doing is just trying to keep it.
If we chose to say, we're not voting on this, if we as a board just said, we're not doing this, because the people have elected by ballot to have a package store,
We're just not trying to control
the
it.
state will step in, so the state will do it no matter what.
Yes,
And-
that was
and-
understandable.
Right. So we have an opportunity to do it, but even if we don't, the state will. And I know of a couple cities where that happens. Well, I mean, it could. It goes out of your hands.
Do TBI, and there's some other places that you can go.
But, if you have 2 or 3 people involved, it starts adding, of course, if there's costs involved with it, so it helps with the, we're actually, the 250 is on the low end compared to what some cities are charging. And obviously on the low end, the state structure is 750. We wanted to keep it more reasonable, it felt like it was.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
After they get their certificate from the city of Erin, who regulates that? I mean, as far as, is that something they have to do every year?
It does have to be renewed every year.
So they would do like a regular business, say they would go online, pay their fees and everything that's required by the state, and then bring that to the city and have it renewed? Is
Right,
that
they
it?
have to it's actually kind of, as aggravating as it is, you kind of do the same thing every year. You have to make sure you're still in compliance with
Right.
everything, and you
Right.
pay the renewal fee each year,
So,
in
this,
addition to your business tax.
the sales revenue, the city of Erin will get, is it still gonna be half like it is? Isn't it half with businesses?
Yes, well, now the actual taxes it would be 80%, and that is paid by the wholesaler. The retailer does not collect the liquor tax. It is collected by the wholesaler and given to the city.
Okay, the city is gonna recoup something from
They get
the sale,
8%
8%.
of the wholesale prices. Because that's just how they regulate the alcohol. But it's collected by the wholesale. In other words, when the wholesaler drops it and it's paid for, the money, as I understand it, is collected right then. And it has to be given to the city by the 20th of the following month. Anything collected in one month is given by the 20th of the next month.
Okay. I know mine is the 15th, so I mean,
I
okay.
think for this it's 20th.
It's the 20th, okay.
But now, sales tax, if they have other items other than, that's a different, that would be
Yes.
done as sales tax. But
Yes.
the liquor
The liquor
alcohol
alcohol.
tax part is.
That's
paid
what
by
I'm
the
asking.
wholesaler.
Okay.
But this passes tonight and make a form tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, yes, sir, when it be open. Any other questions?
Oh, are they gonna sell liquor on Sundays, or is it gonna close?
No, that is
No Sunday
limited by the
sale.
ordinance, from 11 o'clock on Saturday night till 8 o'clock Monday morning, there is no, that's Tennessee law.
Okay.
And certain holidays, there's no sale either. I think Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, 4th of July, I believe Labor Day, I can't remember, but a couple other holidays that it's restricted.
Find out for sure on election day, is that all the time?
It's, in the reading I've done, I did not see it, but if it is, they will have to comply. And there again, it's, although the city regulates and they're trying to regulate, they ultimately, as with anything, when you take this letter of compliance or certificate, it's your responsibility to do what needs to be done to the state, and that would include, which, as we address, we will make sure that we know that if there's any holiday discrepancies, anything like that, make sure that, because one of the, and I think it's towards the end of your ordinance, it even states in there that, myself, or I believe the police chief, or we can go in at any time and look and make sure they're in compliance. And, even the records, they have to provide records if it's asked of them, which we won't, it's not our desire to do anything undue, but we do want to make sure that we are in compliance, or they are in compliance with the law, that they're not selling to minors or doing anything that would be a poor reflection on the city or cause problems. I don't think that's anyone here's desire. We don't want that.
Will it be like beer, can you sell after a certain time on Sunday, or?
There are, per state law, there is no Sunday sales of alcohol. So that's not, I mean, the city has no part of that because the state will not allow it.
What about packaging it out of the premises where it's being sold at, in another building, or storage, yeah? Not in where it's being sold, but on the same property?
I think, and that you would need to check with the state, but I think when you get a license, when you apply for a license, your storage facility has to be on premises in the same building. You cannot store off premises, it has to be, in other words, they want a location, and if they want to come and check, they want to know that everything's right there in that facility. You can put it anywhere in that building, but it has to be in that building, as I understand it. Any other questions?
Is it allowed to do the tobacco and all that, or just the alcohol only?
There are other things that the laws have changed, and with the wine and grocery stores, some of the laws have changed. There are other things you can sell. It would be your obligation to check with the state and make sure that you are in compliance, because there is a limit. There is a list, and I'm not exactly sure what everything on the list, but I do believe that tobacco is one of the things that is allowed. Lottery tickets, there's some other things that are allowed, but that would be up to you to make sure you were in compliance. Are there any other questions? If there are no other questions, I don't want to cut anybody short, but we do have the regular meeting at 6 o'clock. And if there are no other questions, we'll close out the public hearing. If there are, I ask you to bring them to the board at this time. And we are available for any time if you have questions on trying to find more information. We will try to help you, and we will have a copy, like say, if it passes tonight, we will have a package available for you in the morning or anytime after tomorrow that you can pick up. If you have questions, we'll try to help you work through them and try to answer questions to the best of our ability. And we do have some legal counsel here that might be able to help us a little bit, and we can talk to the state to try to find out answers to your questions. If there are no other questions at this time, we're going to close the public. Oh,
I have one more. Do you know the percentage of the people who voted that wanted the liquor law?
it was
Is there a percentage?
201 to 97, so I guess 2 to 1.
In favor?
In favor. It is passed by much more than
33.
what I thought would possibly.
Is there any limit for the license, like how many licenses going to be issued?
If there are no questions, we'll close the public hearing. We'll have our regular meeting at 6. I appreciate everybody's questions, everybody's interest in the meeting. Or somewhere close to that. We have Mr. Daniel Metters, or Brother Daniel Metters from the Erin Church of the Nazarene. If you'd like to, would you all prepare at this time, sir?
God, we come before you this evening, thanking you for the opportunity to serve. I mean, that service is something that you called us to, and Lord, we pray that we would take those responsibilities seriously. I pray from this point forward tonight, as we have discussion, as I would seek counsel, that you would give direction, you would give guidance, and we would follow that. Lord, God, we thank you for who you are. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. We have several guests in the audience tonight. We have Representative Rainey here with us tonight. We have Mr. Brussells from the Nashville Fire Department. Thank you for coming. We have Miss Jessie Fish, who's going to be doing some reading of resolutions for us. She's been really nice to that. Y'all remember that later on when we have ordinance 601. And there is a sign-in sheet that's circulating around. We'd ask that y'all would sign that sheet as it goes around past you. At this time, we'll get started. We'll get a roll call.
Alderman Lockhart. Alderman Pollard. Here. Alderman Wiggin. Here. Alderman Baggett.
Here.
Alderman Owens. Alderman Mitchell. Here. Alderman Gooden.
Here.
Alderman Beecham.
Here.
And Mayor Bailey.
Here.
Mr. Jensen.
Here. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, up next, so today we did a pre-con meeting at 1 o'clock where we discussed the generator placement for the generators that we're going to be getting. We talked about that. We had the bid opening last month right before the meeting. Y'all have been giving your audit findings, the annual financial report, and feel free to look over that if you have any questions. We also put in your, or I think put them today at your desk there, the year-to-date, what we've spent in revenues. We felt like it's a good time, with it being the end of the year and midway through the fiscal year, to give y'all some information that you can look over. If you have any questions, you can ask us about that. It'll give you just some food for thought there as far as what we have going on. You were given a letter, and this is, I've been told, the first time this has ever happened, but a letter from the State of Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury that y'all can read. It's just a letter that says that they've reviewed the city's budget and have determined the projected revenues and other available funds are sufficient to meet anticipated expenditures, and our review of the budget is based solely on the information we have received and is for the purpose of determining that the budget appears to be balanced. But you've been given a copy of this letter. We will be doing a bid opening at 2 p.m. on February 3rd. It'll be right before the next meeting. This will be for the downtown. I know that I think in December we had told you at the December meeting that the bid opening would be on December 18th. They did not advertise it. There was a few questions that we still had at that time about electrical or some things about the downtown, so we held off on that, but we will be doing that for February 3rd. Under new business, we're going to move into ordinance 601. This is on second reading. This is the regulation of the sale of packaged liquor stores. And are there any questions or comments, any discussion before we have a vote? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve ordinance 601 on second reading is presented without reading its entirety unless somebody wants to read it.
She probably does not want to. I've never given her a copy of it. I'm sure she would be happy to if we ask her, but if y'all would like, if I can get a second on that motion. All right, we have a motion and a second. Get a roll call.
Alderman Beecham.
Yes.
Alderman Gooden.
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell.
Yes.
Alderman Owens is not present. Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Legan.
Yes.
Alderman Pollard.
Yes.
Alderman Lockhart.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, up next is Resolution 11-2015. This is a resolution that was provided to us. It's in support of the Fort Campbell and the troops there. If this resolution is passed, it will be forwarded to Kim McMillan of the city of Clarksville. She is also head of, I forget the name, it escapes me, but it is the greater something Tennessee region, and this resolution is in support of troops, and at this time we'll get Ms. Fish if she would like to read it for us. Whatever you want to do, you can if you'd like.
Turn around. Okay.
Yeah.
A resolution of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Erin, Tennessee, to express support for the maintenance of current troop levels at Fort Campbell and to urge Congress to oppose any reductions. Whereas in June 2014, the U.S. Army Environmental Command issued a supplemental climatic environmental assessment report stating that a reduction of 140,000 troops plus associated civilian reductions will be needed to achieve the savings and required by the Budget Control Act of 2011, and sequester cuts to the defense budget are reinstated in 2016. And whereas the impact to Fort Campbell would be devastating, as its total military population of 31,092 would be reduced by 7,000 troops, representing 22% of the total service members stationed there, with a possible loss of more than 15,000 active duty troops by 2020. And whereas the largest employer in both Tennessee and Kentucky, Fort Campbell is the region's biggest economic driver, with an overall annual impact of $4.4 billion. And whereas the enactment of such drastic cuts to Fort Campbell would result in staggering fiscal consequences, with yearly income in the area expected to fall by 7.7% or $986.6 million annually, with significant tax sales and receipt losses of between $7.4 million and $11.6 million in both Tennessee and Kentucky. And whereas these projected cuts would cause a possible population loss of 58,590 individuals, closure of 10 schools, and 16,500 empty dwellings in the Fort Campbell region, as private sector jobs would be lost in construction, real estate, and education, in addition to the military and civilian post-based job losses, forcing individuals and families to relocate and to find employment. And whereas, with 70% of those working at Fort Campbell residing off-post, reductions to troop levels would not only be catastrophic to the local housing market, but deeply damaging to local property tax collections and local government services. And whereas, the impact to the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system will be dire, as the projected cuts would reduce enrollment by about 8,500 students, and necessitate the closure of 2 high schools, 10 middle schools, and 6 elementary schools, plus the elimination of 1,147 jobs. And whereas, under such circumstances, Montgomery County will be paying millions of dollars for school buildings it no longer needs after issuing 15-year revenue bonds to construct additional schools annually to keep up with the growth in recent years. And whereas, by nearby Austin Peay State University, the fastest growing private university in the state of Tennessee, would also experience a heavy fiscal blow, as 20% of the students at the institution are military connected and have accounted for more than $29 million in tuition and fee revenues over the past 3 years. And whereas the value of Fort Campbell to the Department of the Army and the security of the United States is paramount, as the post is not only one of the most deployed installations in the country, but also strategically, geographically located to be accessible by rail, water, air, or land, allowing these well-trained troops to be ready to accommodate a variety of missions on short notice. And whereas the volunteer state takes great pride in supporting our military men and women as they selflessly serve their fellow Americans in the United States Armed Forces, and is proud to stand by them in opposition to actions that would put our great nation at risk now. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Erin, Tennessee, that we strongly support the maintenance of current troop levels at Fort Campbell, and express our strong opposition to any effort to reduce the personal strength of the base in its operation. Be it further resolved, we respectfully urge that urge Congress to oppose any measure that would reduce current troop levels at Fort Campbell and ultimately harm the military readiness of the United States. Be it further resolved that appropriate copies of this resolution be prepared and transmitted to the President of the United States Senate, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, and each member of the Tennessee Congressional Delegation, adopted on January 6, 2015.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we pass Resolution 11-2015, supporting the maintenance of troops.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Up next, we have a request to advertise for a full-time police officer. As y'all are aware that we've had Brandon Harris, who has left and went to maintenance, so we would like permission to advertise. If I could get a motion on that, and I can get the chief to talk about it a little bit more if you'd like, but.
I'll make a motion we advertise.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Up next, in your original, I think when you received your agenda, there was a motion to put out bids on the co-op, and what first happened is I was speaking with Philip and felt like we did not have the equipment we needed to tear down the co-op building, and then we kind of progressed and we got to talking and we said, well, possibly we could rent the equipment, you know, instead of bidding it out, rent the equipment. From that came the conversation where we have used in the past, Mr. Parchman with Parchman Construction has been used on some different projects, and I think we had rented his equipment on a project. Through all of this talking, we found out that Mr. Parchman will tear it down for $2,500. That's including a driver for the equipment, any fuel associated with the equipment. I think you have in your packet, you've got some rental agreement or rental quotes. One of them is for $2,400. That does not include a driver or any fuel expense, and that's the cheapest quote. So for $100 more, which is not really even $100 more, you're getting the driver, the fuel, the equipment, and he will tear it down and sort it, because we have to sort the things that we're tearing down. What we're coming up on is we're coming up on a deadline to get the building tore down and cleared out for FEMA purposes so that we can get this phase closed out. So I'm bringing this to you. We feel like after looking at this that maybe the best way to go would just be to have him tear it down. If we bid it out, it's probably not going to bid out any less when he's doing it for what we can rent the equipment for. We would also have the time frame on bidding it out, plus we have the expense of running the ad in the paper to bid it out. So I'm asking for your input at this time on that.
I have a question. At one time we talked about just leaving the floor for like activities in the park, like maybe a band setup. Is it?
As near as I can understand, Mr. Hires went out there with me one day and another of his assistants, the elevation of the floor is still below flood level. And so they feel like, after talking with FEMA, they feel like when you leave that structure up, it's still going, the water's still going to hit it if you hit flood stage. And with that being said, you're still got your blockage, which is, and so that's what we're trying to rid the town of as much as possible, is anything that would slow the water down. So, no, and that's part of the reason we're at where we're at, to be honest. We had some concerns prior to me becoming mayor. I think some people had talked to Mr. Parchman, Mayor Parchman, about it. And so he had tried to hold back, and we have talked and went back and forth with FEMA, and as near as I understand, there is just no keeping the building and keeping the money that FEMA paid for the building. We can keep the building, we have to pay back the money.
Let's get rid of the building.
It would be probably in our best interest now.
When is the deadline on that, dear?
March, I want to say March 17th. I'm not exactly sure because I set my deadline as March 1st because I didn't want it. It's around the same time as Irish Celebration. So I tried to back it up a little bit. So in my mind, I say March 1st, but the actual deadline, I believe, is 17th, 18th, somewhere there. And there again, we kind of, in thinking about trying to keep it, it kind of slowed things down.
So you would need a motion and have it passed by council to allow you to hire Parchman?
We're right at the spending limits.
Right.
So I would
I mean,
like
I know
that.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second. So we go
Okay.
ahead and Parchman, take it down.
All right, we have a motion and second. We're going to do a roll call on this, and that is only because of what Mr. Poole's letter, which is in your, yes, ma'am?
Do you have an actual bid from Chris Parchman that says that's what he's gonna do with
We
We have a letter that we've got. He said he would do it for that, and of course, if you pass the bid if you pass the motion that that's all you'll give, then that's all we'll do, and if he won't do it for that, then we'll come back to the drawing board.
We do have an agreement prepared.
Yes, we have one prepared. We've spoken to him. He was not, and there again, and that's partly maybe my fault, but we were continually digging, trying to figure out, how to do this in the best, cheapest, or least expensive. However, that's how the rental project part of the idea came on, because at first, in your initial agenda, it was going to be bid out. But when we decided, well, maybe we could rent the equipment because we don't have it, and then that's how this all came about. We've got a verbal agreement, we do not, but we have a letter that he will sign and said he would.
Is it in the city of Erin's policy that anything over $1,000 has to be bidded out?
It has to be quoted up to $2,500. We have to do a quote, and then above $2,500, that's why I'm coming to you now, because we're right at the line. But, I mean, based on what we're seeing, it's, if we can rent the equipment at $2,400 or get it tore down for, a few $100 more.
I understand your logic. I just want to make it fair to all the people who have construction companies in the area. I guess it's kind of struggling for business.
Right. And, and of course, I'm basing some of this on, he's been used before. He does have the insurance, the requirements that we've needed in the past. And I know he's done some things before for the city. And,
Is that to say that some of the other ones might not have the insurance? I mean, I want to understand why this.
like I say, we've rented equipment from him before, and so we've used him in that aspect where he's provided equipment before. It's my understanding now, and so he's one of the ones that's on our list.
Do you have anybody else on your list in construction?
if that's what
that has done the equipment rental or things?
any construction
Well,
that would be-
there
that
are,
might be offended or give us questions on why we didn't do it.
to honestly answer your question, with me not being in this position that long, I can't say that I do or don't.
I just don't want to do anything.
I mean, that might be something where the board would have some ideas on.
But it's not required that we bid it out, right?
We're right at between and the bid is for items more than services too. If you read the policy manual, it's more specifically towards items than services. I mean, but between 1,000 and 2,500, as I understand it, it's a quote, and then above 2,500, and we're right at the limit.
It is my understanding with Ms. Liggins' motion that 25 would be the limit. If he doesn't accept that, then we will come
Right.
back and
We can come back and rework it. But we do have a motion and a second on the floor, I believe. And we'll do a roll call vote.
Alderman Beecham,
No.
Alderman Gooden,
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back and read that, that motion. Motion to forego the bid process and hire Parchman Construction to demolish the old co-op building in the sum of, in the amount of $2,500. And your vote, Alderman Beecham, is no? Okay. And Alderman Gooden, yes?
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell?
yes.
Alderman Baggett?
Yes.
Alderman Liggin?
Yes.
Alderman Pollard?
Yes.
Alderman Lockhart?
Yes, if it doesn't go over 2,500.
Okay. Motion carries.
All right, up next, we have a motion to grant permission to surplus equipment as presented. The listing, I think, is on the, you have a list on the back of a piece of paper. And Chief Moore, if you will go ahead and come up and explain that.
Mayor, I apologize, I didn't bring my list, but I pretty much know what it is.
You want mine? On the back of your, on the back of your first agenda.
Does everybody get a copy of it?
It would be on the back of your original agenda, the one that came out with your packet.
On those items, what I'm requesting is to surplus his military surplus equipment. Pertains to a 91 5-ton truck, an AM general tractor truck, and an enclosed trailer that we no longer utilize with the police department now that we have our command truck. Once we get permission from y'all to surplus it from this board, we can surplus it once we receive approval from the military to go ahead with it.
And all three of these were prior to the,
The trailer was not,
okay.
but both of the trucks were.
Did you have these over a year?
Yes,
You have to keep it.
Yeah, actually, the top truck we've had just about 14, 15 months, and the tractor truck we've had roughly 2 years.
Chief Moore has requested to surplus this equipment. And any questions about it?
Make a motion to grant permission to surplus equipment as presented.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
All right, would you like to go ahead and do your police report while you're up here?
For the month of December, the Erin Police Department answered a total of 282 calls. We issued 106 citations. Now, this will be the same for next month. We don't hold court in December, so that's for December and up to January court. So when you get a report next month, it's going to be the same amount of citations. We made 7 arrests, and you get a breakdown of those. 3 driving on suspended, and 1 possession of marijuana, and 1 theft over 10,000, false report, and accessory after the fact. Worked 12 accidents, but none of those with injuries. Most of those 12 occurring in parking lots. Just finger benders on those. I wanted to note to the board that the Erin Police Department and the Sheriff's Department got together and had a Christmas dinner and banquet. They gave Jamie Patterson a plaque for Officer of the Year. He's, since starting with us, he's done a fantastic job. There's his totals there on the bottom. In your packet, I've also included some year-to-date calendar year activity reports for all officers. I'm not going to go through all that, but just wanted y'all to have that for you. I think last month I spoke on a checkpoint that we had inside the city. Us and the Sheriff's Office checked over 100 vehicles and had 11 violations. None of those were alcohol. New Year's Eve, both of us worked saturation patrols. We only had 1 alcohol violation on New Year's. The Sheriff's Office on the traffic stop in the city made 1 felony drug arrest, and on New Year's Day the city made 2 felony drug arrests and 2 misdemeanor drug charges. But other than that, we had nothing unrelated over the holiday. Any questions over the report?
Thank you, sir. Before we do the fire department report, I would like to say thank you. We've got an opportunity here. We have several of our firefighters here, and I want to say thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for volunteering and assisting and aiding the city. And we know you put time into that and man hours, and we do appreciate that. I just want to say thank you. At this time, Fire Chief, if you'll give your report.
Last month, City of Erin Fire Department answered 8 calls, 2 traffic assists, 1 structure fire, mutual aid to the county, 1 accident, 2 reports of smoke, 1 electrical issue or investigation, 1 fire alarm. December is normally a slow month for us as far as any type of special events or trainings, so we don't have anything special to report on. But I do have other business, if you want to go ahead and start with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you been able to consider my recommendations for Captain Sinclair and Lieutenant Rainey? Mayor and the board, I'd like to award the medal of the life-saving medal with a V device for valor to Captain Dustin Sinclair, Lieutenant Iman, for their actions on an incident March 15, 2013 on Front Street. Medal of Valor is being awarded for actions above and beyond the call of duty, exhibiting exceptional courage, extraordinary decisiveness, presence of mind, unusual swiftness of action, regardless of his personal safety, in an attempt to save a life or protect human life. Captain Sinclair and Lieutenant Iman did take saving life from Miss Rose Black from structure fire that morning. Reverted to their training to manage and company operations, and did a very good job at it. Both of them did suffer injury. Both of them continued to work, push on, and requested many times to make entry back into the residence to attempt to protect the safe life from another individual within it. But this time, if I could have Captain Sinclair and Lieutenant Iman. know, City of Grant Fire Department has dedicated our time to multiple man-hours of training throughout the past few years. Firefighters have made many accomplishments with their training. That wouldn't have been able to happen without firefighter Dave Purcell, who paid for fire. And I'd like to issue him a certificate of appreciation. It's not what I would like to do for him, but according to what he's done for us. But he's helped us along, and firefighters are making achievements that previously would have never been able to happen.
Thank you.
Just say one thing, it's not about recognition, it's about passing on what was freely given to me. I had guys take me under their wings and show me, give me my fire legs and teach me things free of charge, and just because of the passion of the job. And it's to their honor that I do that here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do that. So this is very much appreciated. Not deserved, really, but thank you.
If I could say something real quick, for those of you that don't know Mr. Purcell, he's been with the City of Erin helping out about 1.5 to 2 years. I have seen him conduct some things. Last year, about a year in February, that they did some training at the old co-op building. He assisted in that. He's done several events and helped out. He's done this on his own time, and I know he's came down here on a Sunday afternoon and they did a live burn. He's done several things on his own time. He's really been helpful and offered some training to the firefighters here, which has been great. He is with the engine company in Nashville, and we do appreciate him. We appreciate the other firefighters. Like I say, once again, you never know when you may need the service, but you're going to appreciate the training, the volunteer hours that these gentlemen, these ladies put forth in an effort to help our community. And they do it for no money. And I really do appreciate that. Thank you. And at this time, if we could get a motion to adjourn.
I make